to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. A touchy subject. Not too long ago, Member of Parliament Sylvia Lim urged the government to focus on happiness found in our national pledge. Minister for National Development Khaw Boon Wan's speech in reply reiterated that the words progress and prosperity in our pledge were important for Singapore's growth. In 2011, the CIA World Factbook ranked Singapore 5th among 228 countries for GDP per capita. And in 2012, the Wealth Report crowned our little country first place for GDP per capita. It is practically hard to find a citizen in Singapore suffering greatly in poverty. Singapore has grown into a metropolis with an overall GDP 43 times larger in 2011 as compared to 1960. Money in and no money out, it's predicted that Singapore will hold our title for the next 50 years. Congratulations! We grew up in an era where Asians are meant to be the mainstream study freaks, always going for the best grades in order to get into the best universities and then aiming for the best jobs with the best salaries. And yet we hear of the good old kampong days of Singapore, the happier days. In 2012, according to the Happiness Planet Index, Singapore ranks 90 out of 151 countries. So much for striving to be the best in everything. But surely, we have not forgotten about our own happiness, right? Our rank on HPI has, well, maybe it's true that all our money can't buy happiness. Then what is the formula to happiness? Is there a formula at all? Can't any of our money help us in any way?
You could take a little trip around Singapore town in a Singapore city bus to see College Quay and Raffles Place, the Esplanade and all of us. Because in Singapore, Singapore, the hearts are big and wide you find. Because in Singapore, Singapore, you'll find happiness for everyone. Let's go down to the riverside. It's an unforgettable sight.
Created by Nick Marks, the Happy Planet Index is the world's leading measurement of happiness. The HPI measures the extent to which countries deliver long, happy, sustainable lives for people that live in them. The index basically uses global data on life expectancy, experience well-being, and ecological footprint as factors to calculate this. Each of these components is based on a separate measure. Experience well-being is how well a person's life is. In 2012's HPI, experience well-being is assessed using a question called the Ladder of Life from the Gallup World Poll, which asks the person on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst life possible and 10 being the best life possible, where would they currently stand at?
3 to 4. About 3.
3.
The next component is life expectancy. An universal important measure of health is the average period that a person may expect to live. An ecological footprint, which is promoted by the environmental charity WWF, measures resource consumption. It is a per capita measurement of the amount of land needed to sustain a country's consumption pattern, and it is measured in terms of global hectares. Simply put, it means whether Singapore has enough land to sustain its development. The index is an efficiency measure whereby it ranks countries on how many long and happy lives they produce per unit of environmental input. In the HPI formula, the higher the experience well-being and life expectancy are, the better, and the lower the ecological footprint is, the better. For Singapore, we scored 81.1 on life expectancy, 6.6 on experience well-being, and 6.1 on ecological footprint. The results? A HPI of 39.8, which gives us a ranking of 90 in 2012. Surprise?
Result?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a safe place. Might be a little constricted because there's not that much land here. But I mean, feels like people are getting along quite well.
Oh no. I think those people who don't have luxury are living within their means and they know what happiness is. If you give them something that is, out of expectation, they are very happy. Whereas we are urbanites, we know what is, we are striving for more comfort things. So definitely we're not happy unless we reach the top.
So as we progress from kampong to now cosmopolitan, we are less happier.
Yes, I would think so.
A good HPI is 89.0, which no country has achieved yet. Singapore is 5.9 away from the target for life expectancy, 1.5 away for experienced well-being, and 4.4 away for ecological footprint. Don't be fooled by the numbers. We are in the green zone for life expectancy and experienced well-being, but in the red zone for ecological footprint. Being a small country, we are not exactly land-sparing. And based on how the ecological footprint is calculated, where the amount of land required to sustain a country's consumption pattern is taken into account, we are definitely at a disadvantage. With an area of 714.3 km square and a population of 5,183,700 people, we are a densely populated city, and this puts us at the mercy of the ecological footprint because we have little essential biocapacity, which is the capacity of an area to provide resources and absorb waste. You could say that the HPI is a little unfair to us. But who says we can't be happier with a high ecological footprint? According to the HPI 2012 report, Finland has an ecological footprint of 6.2, which is 0.1 higher than Singapore, and Finland's life expectancy is 80.0, 1.1 lower than us. Singapore beats Finland in life expectancy and ecological footprint, but Finland beats us in experienced well-being by 0.9, and this 0.9 puts them 20 ranks above us. Finland is ranked number 70 in the HPI 2012 rankings. What are the Finnish people doing that makes them 0.9 happier than Singaporeans? Here's a saying to think about. Giving is more blessed than receiving. The World Giving Index, published by the Charities Aid Foundation, used Gallup surveys of 195,000 people in 153 nations and asked people whether they had given money to charity, or volunteered, or helped a stranger in the last month. It also asked to rank how happy they are with life. In 2010, Singapore has a WGI of 27%, while Finland has a WGI of 37%. Finland gives more, Finland is happier. And the happiest country, according to the HPI of course, Costa Rica has a WGI of 39%. Costa Rica gives even more, Costa Rica is happier. According to TED Talks, Michael Norton says, money can buy happiness, you just need to spend it right. We're not the highest in WGI, but we're not zero. There is a trend in Singapore to give.
Maybe $10 on me and $90 on my friends.
So about $36.75 on myself and about $63.25 on others.
60-40?
60 to yourself and 40 to the rest.
Yeah.
People in Singapore do have the initiative to give, but what is stopping them?
Well, we are very cooped up with pressures of work and stuff. So, money is always at the end of our minds.
Money, yeah.
Yes, correct. So, because of that, that's why I think people are more money-oriented. And wherever they work is at the end of their mind, they are thinking of money.
There is no denying that our living cost is high, especially housing and transportation. But remember, we're not the poorest. We have enough money.
According to the CIA The World Factbook, which is different from the Wealth Report, mind you, the GDP per capita for Singapore was USD 59,700 and Costa Rica was US 11,900, both estimated in 2011. GDP per capita is a good indicator of a country's standard of living even though it doesn't measure personal income, and apparently, Singapore does have a higher standard of living than Costa Rica. So we're comfortable, we have the money and we have the heart, kind of. And after all the complicated statistics and facts, we now know that Singaporeans don't have the mindset to start giving.
Ain't nobody got time for that!
But what if we did? A research shows that instead of a large organisation donating a cheque to a charity, dividing the amount among the employees and allowing them to donate to a charity of their choosing makes them more satisfied. In addition, spending money incentives on their colleagues rather than on themselves has a more positive social impact, increasing not only job satisfaction but also team performance and sales. Singapore aims to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress. By spending our money right, we can achieve all three instead of the two that our Minister of Development aims for. The amount of money you spend on others isn't important, be it trivial gifts or major charity efforts. Spending something on others is the important aspect to increasing one's happiness. Examples of organizations that have initiated giving are Project Hello Stranger, Blessings in a Bag, and While You Were Sleeping.
While You Were Sleeping is a social initiative that I started last year, and what we do is we actually go around schools to put little cards that says While You Were Sleeping, and then behind the card we actually write personal notes and a canned drink or a snack so that when they wake up, it'll be a pleasant surprise for them. So the whole message behind it is, while you are sleeping, someone actually cares for you. We understand your plight. I definitely feel happy after giving and after doing this social initiative. It's true that some people, they want to give, but because of high cost of living, because of other obligations, I need to send my child to school, therefore I cannot donate a certain amount, or therefore I cannot even donate my time because I need to work, I need to get ahead of the game. I think we have subconsciously built a mentality in our youth that when you do something for someone, there's always this question of what's in it for me. Whether or not that's the right way, personally I think there's a better way lah. Yeah.
The unfortunate subconscious thinking of what's in it for me has been our primary bane in the field of charity. Singaporeans are proven to be both rich and also we have the heart to give. But with the excuse of rising costs of living, we're just insecure and unsure of whether to start giving or not. Remember how we Asians are the ones who always aim for the best results? There are unhappy and happy Singaporeans here. The number of unhappy overpowers the happy, and now that isn't the best result. From the example of Josiah, it is evident that giving brings more happiness to both the receiver and the giver, and that we should practice such virtue. As how we have evolved from our kampong days learning from our mistakes, let's learn from the past 3 Happy Planet Indexes and aim to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.